Well, it's almost a bonus episode of Rugby Nation. Here we are at Hangar 96, Qantas headquarters. The 31-man World Cup Wallabies squad has just been announced. Payten, Nick White is good to go.
Fantastic. Nick White in for the 2019 tournament. Obviously, 2015 wasn't your year, but how does it feel to be in, mate?
Mate, awesome. Relieved. This is kind of the pinnacle for rugby. So, grew up dreaming about it. And now, I've made the squad. So, not all the way there, but, that little bit closer.
It's been such not a surprise for a lot of us, but it's been so great to see you come back and just work your way so seamlessly back into this team. What's made it so easy to make that transition back into the green and gold for you?
I don't know, maybe just desire, being away from it for so long. And, I'll say to a few people, you can say you appreciate something, but until it's really taken away from you, you don't realise how much you are grateful for it. So, just to be given the opportunity in the squad, first and foremost, I wanted to take every day, as it came, and then every game. So at the moment, I just think I'm just really, I know it's cliche, but taking it day by day and cherishing each moment. And today's another one of those awesome moments that I'll just kind of, just loving and loving being a part of it.
Whitey, talk us through the decision to come back. We've heard a little bit from you about it, but like when you were sitting down, with your missus talking about this decision, was this the point that you were dreaming about? Obviously, there's lots more to come, but was it this sort of day, the selection in a World Cup squad, that was driving it?
Yeah, like I said to you a while ago, it was, for me, the conversation started about post-World Cup, and then once the World Cup kind of carrot got dangled there, I got really excited, and that was when really wanted to make things happen. And this was always at the forefront of my mind. Dating back to when I left in 2015, was always the thought process was go overseas and play a couple of years and then come back and give it a crack. And I thought that dream was gone, but then it came about, and this has been right there, for the most part, how good.
What's next for you guys? So obviously September 20 is the opening of the World Cup. What's happening over the next little bit as you guys prepare for it?
So we'll head over to Namibia this afternoon. Got a pretty grueling camp over there, which will be good. Good for us to get away and work hard, but also just away from distractions and get pretty tight as a team, and enjoy those blokes. Maybe not Tamua so much.
I don't know if enjoy is the right word for a guy like that, Tamua.
Yeah, the only bloke in history to be booed when given his jersey for a test match. It'll be really good for us. We'll come back, play that Samoa test, and then we're into it. And we'll have a week up there in Japan before the first test. But as Czech said today, everything from now on in is just focused around that first game against Fiji.
I just want to call this. You're taking the board, the Okanuis over to Noumea. What's going on? There's all this talk about a jungle camp and survivor tactics. They're on the
flippers.
I've made my own immunity idol over the last week, just in case that I need it, because obviously in a physical challenge I'm not going to do too well. I think it's going to be nothing like that. I don't even know where we're staying. I hope it's nothing like that.
How are your alliances going? Have you worked on them? How's your social game?
Mate, I'm very close with the FIU, so I'll be all right. I've got the front rows on board.
And before we let you run off and do some more meaty commitments in and around the hangar, the Tash. What are we twizzling at the end of that? You look like a fighter pilot. What's holding it all together?
There's a little bit of wax that I think is a few years old, so I don't need much of it, but it's just to keep it nice and tight.
Mate, you keep rocking it. Can't wait to see you do your thing over in Japan go well.
Thanks, guys. Can't wait.
Well, Nick White becomes one of 18 men now who've never played in a World Cup, 13 guys who've been there, done it before. What a result, what a return for Nick White. He has just stunned everyone since pulling on the green and gold again.
And a great man. He's thrown his lot into Australian rugby, hasn't he? He's decided to come back and got the just reward. I tell you what, of that list, Adam Ashley Cooper, 4th World Cup. That's 16 years you've got to be at this level.
Insane.
It's amazing.
It's insane.
that's
joins-
longevity. That's genuine longevity.
So he joins George Gregan, I think, is the only Wallaby ever to play in 4 World Cups, which
Yeah.
is just nuts.
Well, when you think about that's 16 years, like that's an incredible amount of time to be at that level, that physical level and mental level. So obviously he's going to be, he's in that back 3 mix. His versatility is going to come right into play. But some of those, should we jump through a bit of that other?
Well, I think the flip side to that we've got to have a look at, and he's a guy that a number of us have just been championing since the moment he emerged in Australian rugby through the NRC, Geordie Pattaya, who heads off to World Cup. Looking at Joe Roth. So Joe Roth was another man who made his test debut at a World Cup, and Geordie Pattaya looks
Scott
like
Staniforth did as well.
Spanner did as well.
In 99.
If fit, he's got to be knocking on the door as well. He's such a phenomenal player, Geordie Pattaya.
31 players is just a really, you're copying some eyes from behind the camera there.
I'll just grab him. You keep going with Geordie.
31 players.
Scotty, come on over. You keep going.
No, let's roll
players.
with it.
We'll grab one of them now.
Let's grab number 31.
Scott
last seat on the plane.
who's an avid Rugby Nation viewer. Scott Seo, well done. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it, Shawnee.
This is what happens if you try and draw from behind the camera. You get put on the camera, Scotty. So, mate, you've been there, done that. Do you? In fact, no. There's 3 hookers on this one, so you don't have to be the reserve hooker anymore. Back in 2015, weren't you the reserve hooker?
Yeah, delightfully for me. I don't have to, throw my name in the hat there for to be the 3rd hooker. So, we've got Jordan Wallace, Falafanga, and Tolo Latu there. So. Happily for me, I can just focus on being prop and don't have to worry about it. That's my kid over there, Lucan Salakaloto. I'll just look after him when I can.
Who's doing his hair at the moment? It looks tremendous.
I think his girlfriend. He's actually just he's in a new relationship. He's quite happy. He's probably the most whipped out of all of us in this team. So you know how puppy.
He's not free and single like you.
Nah, puppy love.
Quick question for you. My daughter was asking me this morning. I was trying to explain to her the concept of how the announcement was going to be made. So you guys are on the plane ahead of being unveiled. What's happening on the plane up there? Catching an in-flight before taking off?
Oh, we were just enjoying business class up there.
Right.
Yeah,
all
just
right for some.
getting all snuggled up there with James Slipper. We're in alphabetical order, so I was around the same characters, James Slipper and Rob Simmons. But just a lot of waiting. Big waiting game up there. We're sort of just looking out, see who's the best dressed out there. But big shout out to MJ Bale for our
stop it.
For our seats here.
I really do like the trim. Were you a part of the committee that got together and designed this new blazer? They look flash.
No, I wasn't. But it reminds me of my old school days at Trinity.
Yep.
Yeah. Back in those days, I had a few lines on my blazer, but no. It's pretty cool. Something different. I think it's something special for a lot of us. A lot of us probably haven't had something like this, especially me. Over the years I've been here, so real thanks to MJ Bale for hooking us up.
Scotty, making your first World Cup would be special, right? What about making a second one? What's the different emotions? Like you've proved that you can go to a couple. That's got to be a proud moment.
Yeah, I guess for me it's just the journey to get to this World Cup. Sort of. Things were really sort of going my way when I was trying to make my first World Cup. I was young and up and comer as I was coming through. So, this time round, having gone to one, it's sort of that process where, you have to consistently keep backing it up every year and, keep proving your point. So to be able to make a second World Cup is truly something special. And I'm just looking forward to the experience, as a lot of these players are, I'm sure.
Looking forward to seeing you do your thing over there. You go do your photos. Scotty, go well in Japan. Thank you, mate. We love catching up with you as always.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks,
See you, buddy. Thank you very much. How good. Scott Seo there again. And
fantastic.
Sakobi Kopu walking around in the background as well.
Lots of smiles on the faces.
Oh, why wouldn't there be?
Yeah.
A big smile on the face there of Sakobi Kepu's brother, Sione, as well, who works for Qantas.
He does.
He's a big wig at head office. He'll be there in Japan cheering him on. Let's get back to it. So, Pattaya's in there. Who were some of the other ones that sort of were on the periphery that we're not shocked by, but that we kind of... Jack Dempsey is one who jumped out.
Jack Dempsey is come into the back row mix there, but probably out of left field a little. He had a shoulder injury, hasn't played any test matches this winter, but I guess what, Luke Jones is the guy who's missed out probably there. The difference between those two guys, maybe Dempsey's got the faster feet. Sean maybe offers something on dry tracks up there, not sure. when you're talking about World Cup squads, it's like the 3 halfback, 3 hooker question. We spoke about it with Scotty. They're taking 3 hookers. That takes out the luxury of being able to squeeze an extra back rower in or whatever. Only the 2 halfbacks though, Nick White and Will Genny, are being asked to go the distance. So we'll have to find an emergency halfback out of that squad somewhere.
You wouldn't be short. I think you like the idea of Bernard Foley.
Yeah.
If required to slip in there at 9,
Maybe it's just a height thing.
he'd be able to punch passes. Tolly Lado throws a nice ball off the deck. Maybe we
Wow,
could see him.
that is left field.
Maybe you could see him skirting
Well,
around
apparently
the park.
Rory Arnold loves it too. I don't know if he'd be very good at
for
it.
Rory. So that's a 30-man squad.
Yeah,
But the thing...
31-man squad.
I'd said 31-man. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure I got close to it that
Yeah.
time round. The thing, though, and we've spoken about this a lot this year, is that depth and that pressure on those guys as well now to finally make the squad is so much more than it's been in recent times.
Huge, and that's kind of half the question I was asking Scotty. So it's not a small feat to make a World Cup squad in your lifetime. To make 2, to make a couple, Adam Ashley Cooper we've mentioned, is a real feat. To survive 4 years under Michael Checker, for heaven's sakes, that'd be a tough assignment. So, the depth is there. Look at that front row mix. You've got some pretty good props who haven't even had a look in. Look, everyone's full of optimism at this stage of a World Cup, aren't we? We're all a chance. No one's played any games, but that looks like a squad. It looks as good as the 2015 squad, Sean, easy. We know how well they did, so let's see how it goes.
One of the things that jumped out at me in Michael Checker's address from the feet of the steps of the Qantas 747 was that they're not looking ahead. First up's Fiji in that day 2 play, and that's what they're focused on. That's what they're looking to nail down. They're not even interested in what a quarterfinal looks like. They're not interested in what Wales might look like. It's all about first up Fiji.
Well, they're very wise to do that because Fiji is a damn difficult opponent. We've seen the squad that John McKee named. He's got Semi Radradra running around in for Fiji this time. But this is very much the mantra that Checker used in 2015, Sean. It was day to day. You'll hear it all the time. We're going to improve every day, etc., etc. You don't want to be caught looking, who you're going to play in the quarters, etc., etc., or you'll find yourself out of it probably.
Well, this guy's going to be massive for them. Samu. We're going to grab Samu Karevi in just a second. He's just off camera getting shots with the.
I think he's just blanked you there, Sean.
No, he hasn't. He's got Tavita Kurandrani, Issy Naisarani with Reece Hodge playing cameraman. I tell you what, Reece Hodge, he is mad on the Instas. He's nuts for a story.
Yeah,
he's nuts for a
shirt.
post. Knows how to lose the shirt.
Yeah.
So it'll be a foreign thing for Reece Hodge in the background.
To be wearing so many clothes.
And to be taking photos of, rather than having the camera flipped around the other direction. But in just a second, we're going to get Simon Creving. How good's this? So we are in the hangar and the Qantas planes are revving up in and around us.
It's a working hangar, as they said, Sean. If you walked 100 metres that way, you get hit by a 747 bound for London probably. So,
Samu.
Sean was
I told you I'd get him. I told you I'd get him.
Material.
Congratulations, mate. How are you?
Well done, mate.
Yeah, well, congratulations. Jump in the middle here. VC, this is a big moment. I mean, you're coming off the plane with a VC next to your name. What's going through your mind as you have that announcement for a World Cup, Samu?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the whole thing, and the boys have been talking about it delightfully about how.
Okay, I'm going to stop you on that.
Yeah.
Delightfully. That seemed to be the buzzword up on stage when Hoop said it. Everyone started laughing. Why is delightfully the buzzword? I picked up on it. What's the background to it?
He's picked the word.
I have, delightfully.
Oh, it's just that's how we're feeling. That's how we're feeling. That's how we're feeling.
That's rubbish.
That's how we're feeling.
So it's a delightful feeling in the squad,
Yeah,
and there should
it
be
is.
as well. It's a good-looking squad.
Yeah. And like you said, having the VC next to my name is always, really honoured. I'm really there to be supportive of Hoops and supportive of the team, and at the end of the day, just got to do them the right way and just making sure I'm performing well. So I'm really excited for what's ahead of us.
So, I mean, what excites you most about a World Cup? Normally, you get 2 teams in town. They play each other on a Saturday. You got 16. How many teams we got? 16, 20? 20 teams in the one country at the one time, all about to play footy.
Yeah, I think just the buzz around it, everyone's there to watch the footy and everyone's competing. You got the best players in the world coming into one place and really competing for that cup we all won. And, I think just the time spent together, especially with the boys and other teams as well. It's going to be really special and something to remember.
In terms of how happy you are in your footy, your time at the moment with the green and gold on your back, surely you're just at an optimum level, and it seems to be showing on and off the park.
Yeah, exactly right. Like I said again, everyone's just buzzing about the whole World Cup, but I think for us we just got to really simplify each day, like Hoops and Czech spoke about on stage, and just really focus on the day to day and really get better. Because at the end of the day, we're there to perform. Even though there's nice lights and cameras around and the glamour of it all, we're there to perform and play footy.
So, I mean, you know him pretty well, Jordan Pattaya. What a special kid. Hasn't played a test yet. Hasn't played barely at all this year. He's in this squad. What excites you about Jordan Pattaya when you play with him up there in Queensland?
Oh man, his potential. He's got the potential to be one of the biggest superstars in footy, but also how humble he is. How he's quite funny in the way he is. He's kind of a space head.
He is a teenager.
Yeah, he is. He's a little kid. He's still a little kid. So
he's still a kid. He's probably in awe of a lot of you guys.
Yeah, and that's what people got to realise. But he puts in, from the first day we got in camp and that he's been putting in. And I made a bet with him the first time I met him in pre-season that he'll make the spring tour. And he was there. He still owes me that $10. I keep telling everyone he still hasn't gave it. He's got his new 4-year deal, so I know he's got some cash on him. Yeah, but no, I'm really excited for what's ahead of him. And like I said, he's a really humble kid. Puts his head down and just works extremely hard for the bloke next to him. So,
well, fingers crossed we get to see him playing. Fingers crossed we get to see you put results on the field as well, mate. Go well over there. We can't wait to see you rip and tear with the green and gold on your back. Have fun.
Thank you very much.
Good on you, buddy. Thank you, mate. Go well. Cheers.
Well done, so much. Cheers, mate.
When he's at his happiest, he's at his best.
Yeah.
And he has been happy for a long while now in
Smiling
Australian rugby.
assassin.
And it kills me. It kills me that potentially we might not see him next year. He has signed to go offshore, but I'd love for a contract to go missing somewhere between Europe and Australia.
Can be arranged.
Just to have it accidentally shredded.
Well,
keep him here a little bit longer.
Do you know people up there on the Northern Beach? You'd know a couple of shady characters.
I'd love just to keep him here a little bit longer because he is such... He's so good for Aussie rugby.
He's going to have a big World Cup. There's no doubt about it. If Australia are going to do well, you're going to see that bloke doing plenty of damage in the midfield.
Yeah, no, can't wait to see him do his thing. What are other bits and pieces we need to tick off before we bounce out from Rugby Nation?
Well, the other
from
man
the
standing just over there, David Pocock, named in the squad, due to play against Samoa, we hear. We see him bouncing around on Instagram. He did the triple jump the other day,
he did,
proving that his calf is okay.
Speaking to him a little earlier, right. So what they did with him with his testing is when you'll see a cricket bowler have their action analysed, they put little spot points on them, the little doobie whack as we call them.
Yeah, it's the official term.
Official term. And that was just to align and see if his left or right side he was favouring in terms of his running and that sort of stuff. He's set to get the results of that from the specialist later this week. So fingers crossed again that everything's sweet with Poey.
Yeah. Again, we just talk about Samu being important. David Pocock would be a crucial man at the World Cup.
2015, he was one of the best players at the tournament.
Yeah. So I mean, look, there's some question marks still in the air, probably about Poey. To be fair, we've got to see him get through that Samoa match. Apparently, he's training the house down. But you got to be able to play, don't you, when he suits up against Fiji on September 21?
I'm sure he will be ready to roll. We are ready to roll as well for Japan 29, the Rugby World Cup. We're going to take a break on Rugby Nation until we hit the shores of Japan. It has been 21 episodes that we've now put in the rearview mirror. They've gone quick, Pato.
They have. It's been a lot of fun. We hear during the week, actually, our mate Gould, Justin Harrison, is the new boss of the Rugby Union Players Association. So well done, Gould.
Birth to new careers.
Well done, Gould. Look, I don't want to take credit for it. We don't want to take credit for it.
Put him back in the limelight, though, potentially. Be good.
I think so.
Well, he might even be with us in Japan. You'll definitely be there. I'll be with you as well, Pato. So for the moment, from Hangar 96, Qantas headquarters, we're going to say goodbye and see you all in Japan. Ikimashou.